Oops. Hey, happy day 60 of the BP Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Actually, with my red drink. Looks kind of brown, but it's red. Trying to get a red drink in every day. I am, so far, 2 for 4, so 50%. Not doing so great. But I think that's okay. It's not like it's something I really need every day. Maybe a couple of times a week is sufficient. And that's what my subconscious is telling me by me forgetting to drink it. So today, what are we talking about? We are to our next segment, the next segment of the things we're going to focus on for about a 10-day period to achieve our goal in 90 days. Today, and this segment, I'm going to call this one the basics, because you might think, oh, I should have done these things up front, and if they're the basics, why didn't we do them first? And I call it the basics because it's kind of a compilation of a whole bunch of little things that will positively move me toward my goal that I didn't really want to spend 10 days on. They don't really deserve 10 full days. For example, the first thing we're going to talk about is the importance of water. And a lot of the resources and a lot of the experts say that one of the biggest ways to impact your blood pressure is to make sure that you're drinking enough water. Now, that's one of the most basic first things I found. But how do you talk about water and the importance of water for 10 days? It doesn't seem like it's a big enough topic. All of us are, you know, our bodies are what, 97% water or something? I don't think that's right. But it's a high percentage of water. And so anything that makes up that much of us from a physical standpoint, it's got to be critical and important. But can I talk about water for 10 days? No. I can only talk about it for like a day. I'm going to actually break it down into 2. It's that important. But I definitely don't want to talk about it for 10 days. So basics. What are the other type things that we'll talk about under the basics? And I guess I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to surprise you. But it's just key factors and key things that are important toward moving me toward my end goal, my 90-day goal. And at this 60-day point, it feels like, you know, we're 2/3 of the way through the challenge. It feels like it's a good place to stop, reevaluate, get back to some of the basics, and say, what are the things that are going to really move my needle toward me achieving that goal in 90 days? Now, whatever your goal is, you can ask yourself the same question. This is a good point in a 90-day challenge to stop, reevaluate, regroup, and say, okay, what are the basic things that I really need to be focusing on to ensure that I achieve that goal? And you're probably right on track. If you've been doing something every single day right along with us, you probably are 2/3 of the way to that goal already, or you're gaining momentum and you're going to get that goal no matter what. There's no doubt in my mind that my blood pressure will be down 20 points at the end of this 90-day challenge. I mean, have there been events and things that have happened along the way that have triggered more stress or triggered more not eating particularly well, or other events? We've got holidays coming up. I've got Thanksgiving and Christmas. I just was on a cruise. If I can maintain and do the things that I'm trying to do as part of this challenge for me personally to lower my blood pressure during those changes and those events, then you can sure do it too. The truth is, the reason I love 90-day challenges is they give us a longer period of time to let the real events in our life actually be a part of the challenge. And we build into the challenge then, well, how do we overcome if something happens with one of our kids? How do we overcome an added challenge to the challenge and the goal we're trying to achieve when somebody dies and we've got funerals or weddings or vacations or events or whatever? Because in a 90-day period, you're bound to have something in your life that's going to come up, that's going to test you and see if you're really serious about your challenge and about the goal that you're trying to achieve. So that's another reason I like 90-day challenges. So basics. The first basic thing we're going to talk about is water. And every single source that I looked up that talked about lowering your blood pressure, unless it was a sales site online that was trying to sell me a product or a service, and usually it was a product, you know, some kind of a supplement to lower your blood pressure, or some kind of a drug replacement type herb or nutritional supplement to get your blood pressure down instead of taking a medication. It talked about the importance of water. And guess what? Even those, if you're taking a pill, you're going to be drinking more water if you're taking a pill. And some of them want you to take like 9 a day, right? I'm not taking 9 a day of anything unless I'm absolutely positive it's wonderful for me and it's going to be transformative and change my life. I'm not taking 9 of anything a day. Don't get me wrong. In the past, I did a lot of experimentation with supplements, and I think I was up to like 43 and even sometimes 60 different supplements a day. And then I realized that I was spending my whole day taking supplements and managing that, and I was not even eating right or eating food. So that you got to balance everything. So water. We all know water is important. But let me ask you a question. And I'm going to say water is important whether you're doing a business challenge, a health challenge, a lifestyle challenge, trying to stop smoking, trying to stop drinking, trying to lower your blood pressure, trying to reduce your pain, whatever you're doing, water is critical. So, how much water? All you have to do today for today's challenge is pay attention to how much water you're drinking today. Now, I have got my first cup of warm lemon water today. It can be water with a little flavoring, but we're not talking, don't count your cups of coffee, don't count your cups of tea, don't count your cups of red drink, just how many cups of plain old ordinary water are you drinking today? Now, I add lemon to my water once or twice a day because lemon has positive impacts on my health in other ways. And now I have a cold, so it really has a positive impact on me because it gets me just a little more vitamin C. So today, your challenge is to just pay attention to how much water you drink today. Now I know it's just one little snapshot, one day out of the life of how many ever days you've been alive so far, and maybe some days you're really good about drinking water and other days you're not. I will admit that before my sudden cardiac arrest, I didn't drink a single glass of water a day. Not even one. I mean, I maybe had a sip with a multivitamin in the morning, but otherwise it was a couple of pots of coffee and a couple of liters of Diet Pop every single day. That was the liquids I got. And guess what? All that formaldehyde and all those chemicals in Diet Pop, not good. Coffee, we're going to talk about coffee because coffee is one of the things they say to avoid with respect to blood pressure. And we're going to have a whole day on this basics about that because I have strong beliefs and feelings and thoughts on coffee and tea and other beverages. But today, all we're doing, the challenge today is just to tally up how much water do you drink and then share in the comments below at the end of the day how many ounces or cups or liters or however you want to break it down of water you actually consume today. If you're like me a few years ago, it would have been zero, a big fat zero, because a couple of ounces with a multivitamin doesn't count as even a cup. And now there's different ways, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. How do you know what the right amount of water is for you? How do you make sure that you get it? I've got a couple of tricks. A great trick that I learned from my dad on when he had his heart surgery, he had to start drinking more water too because he wasn't a big water drinker either. And so I don't know who he learned it from, but I credit him because I learned it from him. A trick that we'll talk about tomorrow, how to make sure that you're getting the amount of water that you want to get for you every single day. Super easy trick, actually kind of fun. It's kind of a game, and I'll teach you that tomorrow. But today, just count up how much water you're drinking, share it in the comments below. That's it. Have an amazing day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.